So we're practicing graphing the ellipse, okay? But it's given to us here in standard form and not in its conic form. So the first thing we're going to have to do here to find our center and our vertices and our co-vertices and all that, we have to get our equation into its conic form. So to do that, we actually need to complete the square, okay? So this is something that you learned in Algebra 2. So we're going to start with this, okay? The first thing you're going to do is you're going to group your like terms. So we're going to group our x's. Well, all we have is x squared, okay? Then we're going to group our y's. So we get 9y squared minus 36y. And then I'm going to move anything that doesn't have an x or a y to the other side by subtracting or adding. So I get negative 27 on the other side. Okay? Now, for this one, I'm not going to have to complete the square for x squared. So this is just going to be x squared plus. But since I have this lead coefficient, I can't complete the square until I factor that out. So I take out the 9. So I end up with y squared minus 4y. And I need that extra term. Okay? So next, I write it in its perfect square form like this. Now, this number here is the middle term divided by 2. So this is negative 2. Then we go here, we square it, so we get positive 4. Now, I just added positive 4 into this equation, so I've got to balance my equation now. So I have 4 times 9, which is 36. So I technically added 36 on the left side. So I have to add 36 on the right side. Okay? So then we have negative 27 plus 36, which ends up being 9. So we're almost there. You can see we have our x squared term, we have our y squared term. But in an ellipse, the equation should always be equal to 1. So to get it equal to 1, I've got to divide everything by 9. When I do that, I get x squared over 9 plus y minus 2 squared over 1 equals 1. So this is my equation in its conic form. So now I can come back over here and I can write it. So we got x squared over 9 plus y minus 2 squared over 1 equals 1. Which means because my bigger number is under my x, this is a horizontal ellipse, horizontally major, with the center at 0, 2. My foci, well, my a in this case is going to be 3, my b is 1, and c, of course, is a squared minus b squared, so this is the square root of 8. So it means my foci, 0 plus or minus the square root of 8, comma 2. My vertices are at 0 plus or minus 3, comma 2. And my co-vertices are at 0, comma 2 plus or minus 1. Okay? So there's my information that I need to find. And now I just graph it. So center's at 0, 2, right here. The vertices, since horizontally major, go 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 right here. That's the vertices. 1, 2, 3, there's the other vertice. The co-vertices are 1, so down and up 1. So these are my co-vertices. And then my foci, 0 plus or minus the square root of 8. So I'm going to go, square root of 8 is basically almost 3, so it's going to be like right here and right here. Really close. Those are my focal points. And then you just connect your dots around. There's your ellipse. So basically this is same thing we've been doing with graphing the ellipse. The only difference is that you got to complete the square first to get it in its conic form, and then you can find all your information. Okay, so let's look at the second one. Same thing. For this one, I've got to complete the square first. Okay, so let's do that first. All right, so again, same thing first. I've got to group my x's. So 25x squared minus 150x plus 16y squared plus 32y. And again, I'm going to kick my other term out, so I'm going to subtract 241 from both sides to get everything that doesn't have an extra y to the other side. Okay? And 400 minus 241 is 159. Okay? So again, we've got this lead coefficient right here that we got to get rid of in both of them. So we got to factor this a little bit. So we take out our 25 and we get x squared minus 6x, leave some room. Take out our 16 and we get y squared plus 2y, leave some room, equals 159. Okay? Again, the next step, write down my perfect square form. So this is going to be plus or minus some number, plus 16, and this is going to be y, plus or minus some number, equals, and we'll figure that out in a second. So again, take this number, divide it by 2, so we get negative 3. Then this number up here is going to be positive 9, because negative 3 squared is positive 9. So now I've just added 9 in here, so this added 9, but I also have this 25 here, so total I have added 225. 225. Okay? Same thing here. Take this number, divide it in half, plus 1, square it, get there, plus 1. So I've added 16 total on this side, so I have to add 16 on this side too. So when you add this all together, you get 400. Okay? So here we go. Again, just like the last one, I got to get this equal to 1. So I got to divide both sides by 400. So this by 400 and this by 400 as well. Okay? Now we're just reducing fractions. So 25 and 400 are both divisible by 25. So we get x minus 3 squared over 16 plus 16 and 400 are both divisible by 16. So you get y plus 1 squared over 25 equals 1. So there's my conic form. So we come back over here. So this is x minus 3 squared over 16 plus y plus 1 squared over 25 equals 1. Now my center is at 3, negative 1. Now, is this a vertical or horizontal ellipse? Well, it's going to be vertical because the bigger number is under my y. A is going to be 5, B is going to be 4, and again C is going to be the square root of a squared minus b squared, which equals the square root of 9, because 25 minus 16 is 9, so C is 3. So we follow our formula chart. The foci are going to be h and then k plus or minus c, which is 3. And then my vertices are going to be 3 and then k plus or minus a, and a is 5. And my co-vertices are going to be h plus or minus b, k. So here's my information that I just got from my formula chart. Now we plot the points. So 3, -1, this is my center. My vertices, since it's vertical, we're going up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. Down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So that's my vertices. My co-vertices are going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's co-vertices, 1, 2, 3, 4. Co-vertices. And then my foci are going to be up 3, 1, 2, 3 here. Down 3, 1, 2, 3 right there. Those are my focus. And then we just draw our ellipse. So it's going to be like this. It's going to look very circular. And that's it. Again, so all we're doing here is graphing it, but we're adding one step where we have to complete the square to find the actual equation to find our information.